Here's Cowboys owner and GM Jerry Jones on what he would deem a successful season for them Cowboys.
I think to contend for a Super Bowl, which would, if you contend, you
on Shady, because I think this is one of the dumbest fiscal decisions an NFL player can make in the modern era. Like the franchise tag, we all
a win now move. Jerry Jones said this.
Candidly, I'd be very interested. I'd give up future to add substantive to where we are today as to a player, to give you an idea.
When an 2-year-old billionaire starts talking about burning wagons for firewood on the trail to California, you know desperation has officially set in. In the high-octane business of the National Football League, there is a paper-thin line between authentic executive confidence and complete organizational delusion. Right now, in Frisco, Texas, Jerry Jones is walking that tightrope with a blindfold on and no safety net underneath. You just heard it directly from the mouth of the man running America's team. Jerry is standing in front of cameras declaring that anything short of a Super Bowl appearance is a total failure. All while his roster is sitting on a ticking financial time bomb that could detonate the entire franchise before November even arrives. The mainstream sports media wants to sell you the classic Dallas Cowboys summer fairy tale. They want you to believe that Dak Prescott is fully healthy. CeeDee Lamb is locked in. And the offense is ready to light up scoreboard displays across North America. They want you to buy into the narrative that a shiny new defensive system will solve decades of postseason heartbreak. But if you strip away the polished PR machine and look at the raw, unfiltered reality inside the facility, the Cowboys are spiraling into one of the most volatile, high-stakes gambles in modern football history. They traded away Micah Parsons in a blockbuster move that sent shockwaves through the entire league. And now they find themselves trapped in a dangerous game of contract chicken with their newly acquired star wide receiver, George Pickens.
Because of the lack of postseason success that they have had forever, and the fact that every year they're the most talked about team, the most covered football team, maybe the most overhyped.
Insert clip. Seg dois vom. MP4. For over 30 long years. The Dallas Cowboys have held the undisputed title of being the most covered, most overhyped, and most relentlessly scrutinized circus in professional sports. Every single offseason, without fail, Jerry Jones rolls out the same glossy velvet curtain, promises the passionate fan base a championship parade down AT&T Stadium, and then watches the season crumble in humiliating postseason failure. But 2026 feels fundamentally different. This isn't just another routine chapter of Cowboys hyperbole and promotional bravado. Jerry Jones knows deep in his soul that his personal clock is ticking down to zero. He looks at his birth certificate. He looks at a dusty trophy case that hasn't seen a Lombardi trophy added since January of 1996. And he is quietly panicking behind closed executive doors. And that executive panic brings us directly to the bizarre, high-voltage drama surrounding wide receiver George Pickens. When Dallas made the aggressive move to trade for Pickens, it was framed as the ultimate offensive cheat code, pairing Pickens' jaw-dropping athletic catch radius, explosive vertical threat, and ruthless contested catch dominance alongside CeeDee Lamb was supposed to give Dak Prescott the most lethal receiving tandem in the NFL. On paper, it looks like an unstoppable video game depth chart. But off the paper, in the cold, ruthless world of NFL salary cap accounting, it has turned into an absolute catastrophe. George Pickens is stepping onto the practice field this season under the franchise tag, a decision that has left cap analysts, former executives, and top-tier sports agents completely dumbfounded. In today's modern NFL economy, elite young wide receivers simply do not play without long-term financial security. They stage holdouts.
Jones chimed in and said, make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, George could be a Cowboy for a long, long time to come. Gerald.
Insert clip. Seg set videoas. MP4. Jerry Jones publicly flashes his signature charismatic smile for the media cameras and insists that George Pickens is going to be a Dallas Cowboy for a long, long time to come. He paints a picturesque picture of mutual respect, ongoing dialogue, and eventual long-term harmony. But make no mistake about it, that statement is pure high-level damage control. The sobering reality is that Jerry Jones flatly refused to hand Pickens the massive market-setting contract extension his agency was demanding before the start of training camp. Jerry wanted to maintain his financial flexibility, believing he could squeeze one dominant contract year effort out of Pickens on the tag before deciding whether to commit long-term equity. That is an extraordinarily dangerous, toxic game of poker to play with a fiery, emotional superstar like Pickens. If Pickens suffers even a minor soft tissue injury, or if the offense experiences a few bumpy weeks early in the regular season schedule, the latent frustration inside that locker room will become explosive. You cannot tell a player he is the central pillar of your Super Bowl aspirations while simultaneously refusing to back up those words with guaranteed money. Pickens knows his true market value. His teammates know his value. And every opposing defensive coordinator preparing to face Dallas knows that one bad stretch of games could ignite a locker room mutiny.
A Cowboys, they need to win this year. And you're not going to win if George Pickens is not there, right? Pay that man. I don't even see what's the argument.
Insert clip. Seg oitu viodus. MP Fort. Former NFL superstars are not holding back when dissecting this high-risk situation. Super Bowl champion LaShawn McCoy put it bluntly on national television. The Dallas Cowboys cannot and will not win a championship without George Pickens operating at peak performance. If Pickens subconsciously decides to protect his body, if he steps off the gas pedal to avoid career-threatening injuries, or if he harbors resentment toward the organization's cold business tactics, the entire Dallas passing attack disintegrates. CeeDee Lamb cannot draw double coverage and safety help on every single play without taking a physical beating. And Dak Prescott no longer has the luxury of playing behind an impenetrable offensive line. Dak Prescott himself is under immense, career-defining pressure. At 32 years old, carrying a historic salary cap hit that eats up a massive portion of the team's cap space, Dak knows his legacy hangs in the balance. When you are taking up that much cap space, you are expected to elevate everyone around you and mask organizational flaws. But Prescott cannot throw pass completions to receivers who are mentally checked out or worried about their contract status. The pressure on Dak to perform at an MVP level every single Sunday is overwhelming, especially with a revamped offensive line that features unproven young starters at key positions. Which brings us to the biggest, dirtiest secret currently whispering through the executive hallways at the Star in Frisco. The defensive side of the football is an absolute disaster waiting to happen. Trading away Micah Parsons was a seismic, controversial decision that stripped this defense of its premier pass-rushing nightmare.
What they've done, the rest of the work they've done this offseason.
Well, he's 82 years old, so if you're not going to do it now,
That's
when
right.
are you going to do it?
That's right.
I'll let Lewis handle the X's and O's. Everybody says.
Insert clip, seg, says, voom, MP Fort. And that exact realization is why Jerry Jones dropped his cryptic, explosive bombshell during his recent press conference. When reporters asked if he would be open to making an aggressive win-now trade before the season kicks off, Jerry didn't hesitate for a single second. He openly admitted to the entire sports world that he is fully prepared to trade away future draft picks, sacrifice the franchise's long-term future, and pull off a blockbuster trade to upgrade the roster immediately. Why? Because, as Mad Dog Russo aggressively pointed out, Jerry Jones is 82 years old. He doesn't give a damn about draft picks in 2028 or cap space flexibility in 2029. He wants to lift a Lombardi trophy right now, regardless of the long-term collateral damage. Enter Maxx Crosby. The Las Vegas Raiders' game-wrecking defensive end has been the subject of persistent trade speculation as Las Vegas navigates a messy, uncertain franchise trajectory. Crosby is the ultimate relentless force, a non-stop motor pass rusher who plays every single snap with unhinged intensity and violent precision. He's one of the rare defensive alpha males in the NFL who can single-handedly disrupt an opponent's entire game plan, collapse the pocket, and instill fear in opposing quarterbacks from the opening kickoff to the final whistle.
A guy who is a true difference maker, if Maxx Crosby's name starts being floated around again, I think they will swing big for the fences. And they
Insert clip. Seg. Cinco. Vum. MP4. If Maxx Crosby's name officially hits the trading block, Jerry Jones won't just place a polite inquiry call. He will throw a treasure trove of future first-round draft picks onto the table to force the deal through. Imagine the sheer shockwaves across the football landscape if Dallas replaces the void left by Micah Parsons with the relentless, blue-collar savagery of Maxx Crosby. It would instantly transform the Cowboys from an overhyped, vulnerable, into a legitimate, terrifying Super Bowl contender in the NFC. It is precisely the kind of headline-grabbing, earth-shattering blockbuster that Jerry Jones has craved his entire executive life.
Making a trade, and I'm sorry, I can't be the only one whose mind immediately went to Maxx Crosby. Cowboys need help on defense. Maxx Crosby figures to be available. I'm putting 2 and 2 together. Am I getting...
Insert clip, seg novi vetris. To MP4. Connecting the dots isn't difficult when you understand the psychological playbook of Jerry Jones. He manufactures the crisis. He tolerates the media storm. And then, when the pressure reaches a boiling point, he swings for the fences with a blockbuster trade to play the ultimate savior. He is dangling George Pickens on a risky franchise tag while quietly keeping a war chest of draft compensation ready to entice Las Vegas into parting with Maxx Crosby. It is a high-wire act of absolute executive madness. But it is the only way Jerry knows how to keep America's team at the dead center of the sports universe. If this wild gamble somehow pays off, Jerry Jones will be celebrated as a mastermind who orchestrated the ultimate roster resurrection. But if the Maxx Crosby trade falls apart, or if George Pickens decides he has had enough of the contract games and steps back, the Dallas Cowboys won't just fall short of the Super Bowl, they will collapse into the most expensive, embarrassing train wreck in modern NFL history. The clock is ticking in Dallas. The wagons are burning for firewood, and Jerry Jones is playing with high-voltage fire. Did Jerry Jones just craft a brilliant championship blueprint by trapping Pickens and hunting Crosby? Or has his 2-year-old impatience officially doomed the Dallas Cowboys to another decade of heartbreak? Jump down into the comments right now and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more unfiltered NFL drama. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. What do you think about today's NFL news? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with fellow football fans. And don't forget, the next big NFL story is just around the corner. We'll be back soon with more breaking news, hot takes, trade rumors, and game analysis from around the league. Until next time, stay safe, stay loud, and keep supporting your team.